Okay, reality is, I was just on Twitter and I was looking at the live coverage of Herman Cain, the Republican president candidate, addressing the accusations of sexual harassment. So while I was listening to it, I thought I'd take a couple of notes to talk about something. First of all, he said he wanted to clear his name and he never acted inappropriately. Um, then he said the media was accusing him, but the media can accuse you of sexual harassment. It has to come by some person, some individual that accuse you of sexual harassment. They're coming out the woodwork, as he said. Next, he said he's been puzzling his mind trying to figure out who these women are. Well, why would you want to puzzle your mind, figure out who they are if you say that they are lying? There's no need for you to figure out who the women are if they're not telling the truth. So, and then on the flip side, he's like, it's attacking his reputation. Well, the last I checked, any candidate that ran for president, their life has become an open book. So you need to stand in the hot seat and deal with it. And how can you, rightfully so, stand on TV and talk about not addressing your family when Republican candidates takes the opportunity as much as they can to ding not only the candidate, but they go as far as talk about the family or the wife or what they're trying to do. So basically, your conversation is hypocritical and you're backbiting with what you're saying. So you set this scenario up and you have your attorney to do this opening statement about sexual harassment. Yes, it's a serious thing, but you're acting like it didn't happen. So now you're becoming a public figure. And did you ever think that the ladies was quiet because you're not being a public figure? But becoming a public figure and running as president does take it to a whole different level. And that will be something that the American people will want to know. Now, on the flip side to that, you said your supporters are supporting you because of the facts. I don't care what you say. Only two people going to know is you and the person to whom it happened to. So you may hoodwink or trick anybody you think you tricking. People just don't come out the woodwork and say stuff. This is where I have a problem at. You're talking about the accusation and then you slip in that the Democratic Party is to blame. The Democratic Party didn't do the sexual harassment. You did, if it's true. So you can't put that on them. So take ownership to that. And secondly, how are you going to clear up your accusation and then use it as a platform to get your word out as you run it as a candidate? Personally, I don't like you. And I'm not personally voting for you because I don't believe in Republican candidates. They're very selfish individuals. And your idea of helping the American people is helping yourself. So you're really not helping the American people. You say they need a businessman in the White House. No, it doesn't matter if you're a businessman, a poor man. It doesn't matter about color. It matters about what is the needs of the people. And that's the point that you miss. So you say you're doing it for American people. Washington is broken. The election is broken. Well, it's been broken. You think you're finna walk in there and fix some stuff? And even if you was president, you would have the same problem because you seem to forget, as the rest of the candidates seem to forget, there is a Congress and a Senate. It's not just the president. We have two different houses which are battling, which makes the one-man president job difficult. You say you're decent and honesty and no deceit and false accusation. Well, when you do, when you guys have your talk with the different candidates, there's a lot of deceit and accusations going on there. So what are you talking about? You're going to run for the president, and then you use, we will get through this, the American people, and using some of President Obama's words. Get your own words. Okay, you've been married 43 years to your wife, Gloria. Who knows if you made the call or not? That was a nice little icing that you add to the cake. But I ain't too convinced about that because in actuality, do wives really know their husbands? You're not at home 24/7. She don't know what you're doing all day long. You don't report your every move. Um, She's not with you when you have meetings or when you say you have meetings or making phone calls. So she can go by what she thinks she know, but does she actually know? So here's a question for you, Herman Cain, since you seem to be so smart. Let me ask you this question. Arnold Schwarzenegger was married for a long time, and he ended up messing around with the maid in the house and had a baby by it. What do you say about that? Edwards was married and denied his too, and it turned out to be true. So basically, what grounds do you really have to stand on? Please explain to the American people that you say that's in support of you, because I am not in support of you. And character and integrity mean being honest and upfront. And you would never be honest about something that you did. And sexual harassment uh, covers a lot of categories in a lot of areas. So it depends on what the accusations of the sexual harassment is. You could have walked past and said, "Could you give me a cup of coffee, honey?" and constantly pat somebody on their butt. That is very offensive too. So why are you standing in front of TV cameras? And if it wasn't true, then you don't need to make this blick plateau about addressing something that you feel is not true. And then you say, yes, you would take a lie detector test. I'm not understanding. What was the purpose of this? Because many have said they didn't do, they didn't get in meetings and got on mics, unbeknownst to them that they were still on and told on themselves. But the key part to all this is time will tell. It really will. So this is my little opinion, and this is the reality of the whole situation. So you trying to figure out who this woman is. If you didn't do it, you don't need to know who she is. Bottom line. So now get over yourself. You should go back to where you came from, running business, because you seem to think, all y'all Republican candidates seem to think that this is an easy situation to do, and it's not. You guys had it 8 years, and the baby does not grow into a baby overnight. It takes 9 months for it to develop and form. So get a life. That's all I can say. Get a life. Herman Cain.